So I got a phone call in the middle of my live stream. I don't know if you guys could hear my call. I've never had that happen before. I've never taken a call and I accidentally took the call. I didn't mean to take it. And then I was like, oh, I gotta go. And by the time I hung up, my screen was frozen. That was super weird. I'm sorry. Anyways, but offering services. So I'll tell you this story. And if you're new to the group, you're gonna keep hearing the story because it's a really good, that's always good. It's a really good example, hold on, of what you shouldn't do. And I'll explain why you shouldn't do this. But really, and if anybody's here, say, hey, here, I'll pop up my, but when I first started, I started doing web design. So I was like, okay, I can make a simple website. I know how to do that. So I got a few clients from Craigslist. I was going to say fliants. I don't really know what a fliant is. But I got a few clients and I, was all excited. I think I had 3 clients at the time. And I can remember the 3 of them. One was let's see, we're going back 8 years now. One was something to do with pets, an animal rescue or something. They already had a website and they wanted some stuff done to it. Another one was a domestic violence assistance program. I don't remember what the third one was. Oh, a photographer, I think. It was an artist and a photographer. Regardless, 2 already had existing websites. The one, I was creating a totally new thing, right? So I was like, oh yeah, I can do that, talk myself into it. I charged I said, $400 or something. I mean, that to them should have been a red flag. Creating a website is so much more, if done correctly, it's so much more time consuming than you think it is. And there's a lot more that goes into it than just creating, cute pictures and creating pages and stuff if it's done right. There's a lot of things that you can do kind of crappily on it if you're in a rush, with anything, right? I mean, you can do that with anything. But anyways, so I had 3 clients. I was all excited. Oh, I made that was my first $900, right out of the thing. Here's what happened. I had contracts and stuff, that wasn't really a big deal. And I had payments made up front or partial payments or however I worked it. I don't really remember now. And I got into making the websites and the one, I don't remember whose it was. The one I made, I was making it, I did some, I didn't even do mock-ups of it or anything. I just went straight in and built the site, based off of what they said that they wanted. And I had a questionnaire they filled out, and this didn't include branding or anything. I didn't even know what branding was back then. I just created the site. They were super simple sites. So I went in and created it, and I sent it over. They could see what I was doing as I was doing it, right? So they were oh, can you fix the color? Can you change this? We don't want this over there. It's I don't mess with code at all. I still don't. That's something I outsource. I don't deal with it. I'm not going to waste my time on it. I don't, that is not my zone. I hate coding. I've tried to take web design classes. I've tried to, study it. It's nope. Comes to coding, I pass it on to someone else. I can insert WordPress little short codes. Other than that, nope. I'm not going to waste my time. Regardless, I didn't know all that then. I mean, I kind of knew what I was doing, but I really, really didn't. But they kept going back and forth with me. And then it got down to the really nitty gritty stuff. They wanted stuff moved an inch. They wanted because I mean, really think about it. Regardless, they made an investment. You're making an investment every time you buy something, whether it's $1, whether it's $1,000, whether it's $100,000. If you're making an investment in your business, you're investing your money into that person or thing or whatever, and it's yours. Especially something like a website, or you're getting graphics made or something like that, something that represents your business. Of course, they're going to be nitpicky about it, right? They want it to be perfect. They want it to be them. They want it to be representing whatever they got going on. So this person like kept going back and forth about everything. Like I felt like I was done with the site. It looked pretty good. Like I was pretty happy about it. And they just kept going back and forth. And I was like, I can't handle this. Like I can't handle the back and forth of, you need to change this color. I said aqua, not teal. Like you need to, and I was like, I don't have the experience to know like how exactly to do that. Like it's, I'm feeling pretty accomplished to get this basic site together with like pages and pictures and stuff. And like, that was a feat for me back then, let alone, moving things around and getting like super complicated now and all that. And I was like, the time that I put into that site versus what I got paid is like an awful ratio. And it gave me a lot of respect for people that create things like websites, like graphic designers, like ebooks, like all of that stuff, like art. People charge whatever they want. Somebody can charge $1 for something. Somebody can think it's worth $1,000. It's your personal, I think, perspective on it. It's your take on how much work you put into it, what amount of hours, whatever. It's what you value yourself, right? But that was a really rough start. But it gave me an appreciation of don't undervalue your services and don't undervalue yourself and don't offer something that you hate. If you hate social media marketing, if you hate making graphics, if you hate doing whatever, you don't want to answer the phones, then don't offer it. It doesn't matter how much someone's paying you. This is your opportunity to run your business. You got into your business for one reason or another, but I'm sure it's not to tell someone, tell you what to do. That's probably why you got into this, to get out of that situation, right? You don't have a boss anymore. You're your own boss. You get to say, hey, I don't want to do that. I don't need to offer that as a service. I want to charge this and not that. I want to take Wednesdays off. I don't know, whatever. But like, this is now your opportunity to create your own rules. And the way you do that is by not allowing yourself to be put in those situations that make you uncomfortable. Of course, you're going to be uncomfortable sometimes, but not even like offering that, not even allowing it, not even bringing it into your realm. My second client, I think wasn't the artist, wasn't the animal person. I don't remember what they did. It was a lady. I did the work, like we had a contract. It was a super simple site. It was like, made, I don't know, $400 or something. Sent me a letter from her lawyer, like saying she was going to sue me if I didn't fix something on the site or I don't even remember. I pretty much signed off on the site. It was hers. It was done. And then she tried to sue me and I don't really remember like why or whatever. That freaked me out. It's like, that was into my web designing career. Like, props to people that actually create sites, because it's just, if you hate it, if you hate anything, don't offer it. That's my main point here. And actually value what you do. Because when you're offering something that takes this amount of time to do something, whatever it is that you're doing, you're freeing up that amount of time for the person that you're working for, right? Because, they probably want you to do this thing because they know how much of the pain it was for them. It's not their zone of genius. It's not what they want to do. It's not that the task is below that person. It's not that, don't feel like that either. Don't feel like, oh, I'm just doing Excel work because it's a low ball task. Like, that's not my point. It's, if you feel like that, like maybe then don't offer that. Like you should only offer things that really light you up. This is your opportunity to do that. Like, don't take that lightly. Don't offer everything under the sun because you feel like you have to. Don't feel like when someone, offers you, hey, can you do this? Also, like when you're talking to a potential client and they ask you what you do, don't say, oh yeah, I can do whatever you want. I'm always here. I mean, you can say that, of course, if you want. but don't do that because you feel like you have to. If there's things that you don't like to do or you don't want to do or whatever, just like say that. Say, yeah, I used to offer that. It's not really like something I really do anymore or whatever. I mean, wouldn't you rather be honest and say that up front now versus having, doing the task and then being like, oh, gotta call like all these people back and I gotta be on the phone all day and or whatever task you hate to do. I hate being on the phone. And it's like, that's not why you're in this business. You're in this business to do what you love, to offer what you love, to work with people you love. Point blank. Don't offer stuff you don't like to do. If you don't even offer it, then you can't even get the offer to do the things you don't like to do. So don't even talk about it. I mean, that's simple. And you guys saw the list of things that I said that I offered in my business when I first started. Like, honestly, like, 70% of those things I shouldn't have even been offering because like I knew how to do it, but that doesn't mean I should have been offering it. I didn't have a skill in it. I didn't like doing them. It took me more time to do those tasks because I didn't really know what I was doing and I was having to like read tutorials and like, watch YouTube videos, whatever. And I didn't build a client for that time. I mean, I wasn't like, but there are VAs that do that, which isn't really cool. But that it wasn't a good feeling. I felt like I was cheating the person because I was like, oh yeah, I can do everything under the sun. And then they gave me all those tasks, of course, because that's what I'm putting out there. Yeah, I can do whatever you want. And then of course I'm going to get all the crappy tasks I don't want to do. That's how it works. But yeah, and then I felt like really shady because I was telling people I could do all these things. And then of course they wanted me to do all those things. And then I was just like, I really don't want to do those things. And then you already got into the agreement with the person. And then like, you don't want to tell them no. And it's just an awkward, messy situation. But that's my tip for you today, really. I mean, just offer the things that you like to offer. Don't feel weird because there's people offering those things. Like, it's whatever. Like, you're going to offer what you want to offer. You're going to attract the people that want to work with you because of that. And that's that. I mean, don't feel like because you see people out there offering everything under the sun, you know what? Great. That's good for them. Like, that works for them. Maybe they do enjoy doing all of those things. Maybe they're just like you and they've never been told, like, you don't have to offer anything. Or, I mean, well, you have to offer something. You don't have to offer everything, though, right? I mean, that's your choice. You get to choose now, choose something that makes you happy. Choose something that's gonna, you're gonna be excited about getting up in the morning and working with your clients. Choose clients that you're excited about working with. I had clients I wasn't really excited about what I was doing, but I enjoyed the clients so much, like I was happy to do it. I enjoyed working with them. I enjoyed, being around them. I enjoyed their emails. I enjoyed being on the phone with them. Like, I was, manually pinning Pinterest pins. I would do like 200 a day. It wasn't exactly an exciting task. And I even had Tailwind set up. So I don't really know why I was doing that and manually pinning, but regardless, that's not exactly a thrilling task. And it was food. They were a food blogger. And then I was like looking at all this really good food all the time. So I was like hungry. But I mean, I enjoyed working with the client so much, and that opportunity opened up so many more doors for me. It's not even funny. So, I mean, if there's opportunities like that, like, you gotta, that was a choice, though. That was my choice to work with them. It wasn't a task that I loved. Wasn't exactly something that I was going to, announce to the world that I was going to do, because it wasn't something I really wanted to do for 500 people, but my choice. So, Facebook's being kind of funny, and it's not letting me know, like, I can see people popping on and off, but I don't see anybody talking. So, I don't know if that's better or worse. We'll go with it, though. So, if you guys have any questions about anything that I've talked about today, let me know. Feel free to pop it below. Let me know if you're rewatching the replay, if you, like, see something and you're like, oh, I wonder, like, if, have a question about that, or how do you do this, whatever, let me know. I'm here. As you probably saw though, I got my ebook done. I think it's pretty cool. It's really I think, easy social media solution. It's not a course. I don't write books a lot. I don't write a lot of guides or workbooks, whatever. It's not really a workbook either. You're not like filling stuff out. I think in the beginning you fill like one thing out. There's not a lot of pictures, but I really think it's something you can really read and implement the stuff like right then and there. It's not like this long dragged out like, 500 step kind of thing. It's nothing like that. It's a really easy read. It's nothing that's like, I'm not above your head. It's pretty much, this is pretty much all my tips. Like, these are the things that I did. These are the things that I do. This is what I teach my clients. It's all here in this book. Read it, take action, implement it. You'll get social media results. Pretty easy. I think it's a pretty easy thing. So I'll be posting that later on today, hopefully, because I got to wrap a couple of things up on it. But again, if you're watching this and you see something, you have questions, you have comments, let me know, for one, if you watched it, or give me a like, whatever. But yeah, that's about it. So have a good day. Bye.